Hey guys, what's up? I am Maryam Maquillage, makeup in French, for those of you who don't know, and welcome back to my channel. I am so excited today. I have finally filmed a drugstore tutorial. Can we get an applause, please? Yes! Seriously, you guys have been requesting me this tutorial for so long, and it's about time that I finally film it. I actually love my drugstore brands. I've been wearing my makeup since I was about, what, 12, 13? And the drugstore brands were the first ones that I got to try naturally. My Maybelline, my L'Oreal, my NYX, all of those have been my staples forever. So with that said, this is the look that I prepared for you guys today. It's a little bit dramatic, but perfect for spring. Some green sprouting colors. You know, St. Patrick's Day is right around the corner. Who doesn't want a little green half-cut crease, huh? So this is it. I hope you guys enjoy it. Definitely leave your comments down below. Let me know any questions. I love you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed this one. I'm excited. All right, guys, so before I talk about skin makeup, I want to talk a little bit about skin care. I just discovered this L'Oreal Hydra Genius product. It is a serum, and usually before I apply my makeup, I always use my Lancome Genifique serum. It is not a drugstore product. It's nowhere near drugstore prices, but this one is, and although the ingredients aren't exactly the same, so it's not a dupe by any means, I really love the consistency of this. I love the fact that it absorbs really quickly into my skin, and because I'm an oily skin type, this is perfect to use for under my makeup. It smells really nice and fresh too. So this is one of my new favorite discoveries from the drugstore. Look how quickly it absorbs. And I look pretty matte. Am I right? For my primer, I'm gonna be using Maybelline Master Prime. This guy right here, and I just discovered it about a month ago during New York Fashion Week. I didn't even know that Maybelline had a primer like this. I used it in my previous video. I've been using it every day, so about a month now. And I have to say, it's been so consistent. It's been as great on day one as it is today on day 30. I love it. It keeps my pores looking smaller, keeps my foundation looking fresh. It's a really excellent primer. And I would say it's the only drugstore primer that I'm familiar with and the only one that I would recommend. It's the only one that I've used and love. Moving right along to foundation. I have lots of favorite foundations from the drugstore. Between Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless and L'Oreal True Match. There's also this Milani foundation that everyone raves about that I hear is amazing, but I have not tried that one personally. I've heard just great things. I slightly prefer the True Match over the Maybelline Matte and Poreless, only because the shade W6 is my closest match in any foundation. I mean, take any high-end foundation, take any drugstore foundation, this one is the one that I don't have to mix ever at all with anything, and it's just great. I'm gonna use a makeup sponge. These three are brand new from L'Oreal. They might be from their Infallible line, I'm not sure, but I will list them and I will write the name down in the description below. It would be my first time using these, so let's see how it goes. Definitely need to get this one wet first. Lee, I love the colors too. They're so happy, right? They're so happy. Yep. In the meantime, I'm just gonna... Perfect. Nice. I am impressed already. I like how these absorb the water and how nice and fluffy they become. They almost remind me of Bow. I don't know, let me just apply it straight from the bottle. Do it for the gram, yes. This is the only thing I don't love about this foundation. The fact that it doesn't have a pump. Yes, but the drips certainly make for a good IG video, don't they? I recently went to a PR firm that works with L'Oreal. I was like, excuse me, can I have 2 of those L'Oreal True Match foundations? First time using this sponge. Ooh, it's really comparable to the Beauty Blender. Very soft, feels very nice on the skin. So you see how I'm just rolling my foundation? I think this is the best way to work with a sponge. I've been wanting to do this tutorial for such a long time, but I've always been reluctant because not only does the drugstore lack in the makeup sponges department, their brushes are really hard to come by. I mean, there are definitely some brands, and I will show you the ones that I picked up for today's video, but still, the selection is nowhere near the selection of a Sephora. Okay, I applied way too much on my forehead, so let me just redistribute this. Thanks, Bo. Lee just walked in the room and he was like, wow, that's an amazing foundation. It matches your skin perfectly. Exactly. I can't rave enough about this foundation. I love it so much. And I know so many professional makeup artists that swear by it. L'Oreal True Match. For my concealer, I grabbed these three faves. The L'Oreal True Match Concealer, the Maybelline Superstay Better Skin, and also the LA Girl Pro Concealer. Unfortunately, I grabbed the contour shade, so that's not gonna work. I think for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm gonna go with Superstay Better Skin. I have it in light and in light medium. Don't exactly remember which shade I am. The light looks a little light, so I think I'm gonna mix them both. Every time I apply my concealer now, I always think of Lee and his boyfriend does voiceover tutorial. I'm always like, "Pa, pa, 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 pa." How does he do it? How does he do it? I'm a crazy dot girl. Is that what he said? This little guy. And this is the same L'Oreal makeup sponge, but for concealer, for smaller areas. I can't do it. I just can't do it. Do you see the coverage on this? It's quite impressive. I am absolutely obsessed with this Pixi contour stick. It looks like this. It's truly a cool shade that imitates shadow, which is why I love it. I don't exactly consider Pixi a drugstore brand. It is available in Target. However, Target is more like a superstore, you know. Pixi is one of the higher end brands in Target. So I have two options for you guys. I have the Maybelline Master Contour and I have the Pixi Contour Stick. So I'll use them both. Why not? I'll use the Pixi on this side, use it on my forehead and under my cheeks. And I'll use the Maybelline Master Contour on my nose. It's not as cool as Pixi. It's a little bit warmer, but it's a great product. I'm also gonna apply it under my lip to make it pop. A little bit right here. You could even do a little bit of reverse contouring. That's totally optional. To blend out this contour, I'm gonna use Pixi's Full Cover Foundation Brush, or you can pick up this guy right here. Looks like a lemon, doesn't it? Or maybe a lime. This is a really nice, dense brush. I think it's perfect for blending out your nose contour. So I'm going all out today. I really want to do a glamorous, super dramatic, not too dramatic, but wearably dramatic look using drugstore products. So that's why I'm doing a full contour, full face beat. I use this lemon sponge right here for my cheek contour. Oh, I'm impressed already. I'm not even sure if they're yet available at the drugstore. If I might be the first person on YouTube using them. Let me know if you can find these. I have a feeling they just might be a really hot commodity. Moving right along to my setting powders. The reason why I'm making a face is because it is entirely impossible to find a setting powder without any flashback at the drugstore. The only one that I could find is from this Pop Beauty Setting 101 palette. This product right here, the translucent powder. The only issue with that is that Pop Beauty is only available in certain drugstores. If you're from New York City and you know those two-story Duane Reade stores, you can find it on the second floor. So I don't know if this exactly qualifies as drugstore, but it's the best I can do. So to pick up this product and to set my under eye, I'm going to use this Real Techniques brush. It's very long, a little bit hard to store, but it's pretty good quality. Kind of like this. It looks a little cray-cray right now, but that's okay. We'll dust it off later. Next, I'm going to take my Maybelline Master Fix translucent powder. This one does have flashback, unfortunately, so you have to be very careful with how you apply it. I'm gonna apply a little bit into the cap. Then I'm gonna tap off the excess. Tap this on my hand so that it doesn't look like such white powder, so that it looks just a little bit dusted. This is how you avoid applying too much powder to create too much flashback on your face. Swirl it all along my face. Concentrating on the T-zone, concentrating on the porous areas. Now, if you're someone who's not into translucent powder, I highly recommend Maybelline Superstay Better Skin Powder Foundation. It is really good, high quality, full coverage. I even like to apply it in areas that I may have some imperfections because it hides them really easily and quickly. Also like to use this on my forehead and over the translucent powder. For the brows, there are lots of great products at the drugstore that I love, I use all the time. Starting with this Brow Precise. I'm gonna use the spoolie to brush out any powder that might be in my brows. You guys know I'm into the straight brow lately. I'm gonna keep it a little bit straighter. I'm gonna add a little bit more to the arch. Especially love this brow pencil for the inner portion of the brow, given the fact that it's not too heavy and it's not gonna weigh your brow down and close up your eye, especially if you have a smaller eye shape like mine. Love this product. So good, so easy to use too. Brows are done. I'm gonna apply my Maybelline Master Primer to the movable part of my lids. This one is the shimmery one. They also have a nude one. For the life of me, I couldn't find it in my stash. It's comparable to the Urban Decay Primer Potion, but it isn't as patchy, so it's even better. I'm gonna use this Real Techniques brush to just buff it out real quick. Okay. Now, when it comes to drugstore eyeshadows, I usually like to turn to my NYX palettes. NYX really knows color, they really know their neutrals. I'm gonna start with this NYX Lid Lingerie palette. A lot of you guys wanted me to test this one out. So here goes. I'm gonna pick up my Sonia Kashuk Fluffy Blending Brush. I'm gonna pick up this shade here. Nice warm transition shade. And I'm gonna apply it to my transition. Not bad pigmentation. Not as great as a high-end shadow, to be honest, but it's pretty buildable. So all in all, I think you get what you pay for with these. These Sonia Kashuk brushes though, I have just a few, but they have been my favorites for years, and I mean years. They are just as good as any high-end brush that you would get from Sephora, and they last forever. I've had this brush for, I would say, 8 years. All right, this Lid Lingerie didn't really impress me much. I was hoping that they would be as pigmented as my Avant Pop palettes. Picking up this shade. This palette is called Nouveau Chic. Same shadow, applying it precisely to my lower lash line. So it took me a second to figure out what kind of eye look I actually want to create with all these drugstore products. And this is kind of what I came up with. I figured spring is right around the corner. St. Patrick's Day is almost here. So this little blooming, sprouting, spruced up green, I think it's quite perfect for the occasion. So here is what I did. Picked up a little bit of my NYX white base with this tiny little Pixi flat liner brush, and I began by tracing out the inner portion of my eye socket. See, this is much higher than my crease, which is here. I actually want it to be visible when my eye is open. And then I'm just gonna pack this base onto the lid, surround my inner corner, and then I'm gonna make it really nice and precise right here. So as you can see, I'm packing most of the product to the inner portion of the lid, and then I'm buffing it out and I'm blending it out to a gradient. I've been using this one for years. It's still one of my go-tos, still one of my favorites. Just makes the eyeshadow, especially drugstore eyeshadow, you know what I mean. It makes it appear better and brighter and more pigmented than what it actually is. So I'm gonna use this green right here, this yellow right here, and I'm gonna use this deep olive green. Is that an olive green? Like army green right here. Yellow from the Surreal My Heart. Picking it up with the Sonia Kashuk flat brush. I'm gonna start packing it to the inner portion of my lid. Making sure you're covering that white. Bam, I like this yellow. It reminds me of my favorite Baby Chick yellow. Picking up this vibrant green. This is a Studio Tools brush, also from Target. I'm gonna start packing it to the center of my lid. Ooh, this is a really nice vibrant color. Make sure the two are well blended by packing them over each other. Keep the other brush handy so you can just pack, 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 pack. Just like this. Pixi Precision brush. Nouveau Chic palette. NYX Avant Pop. I'm just going to pack it to that outer portion. And I'm going to take my original brush, using that brown, and just buff everything out. I'm also going to extend this tail end just a bit. I feel like I could use it, right, for this look? Okay, so then for the lower lash line, I'm going to grab this yellow L'Oreal Infallible Paints. It's a new liquid eyeshadow. I love a good pop of yellow. To brighten up my brow bone, I'm going to pick up a little bit of this shade. I'm going to apply it right here to my brow bone, just cleaning up that transition shade, making my brow sharper, bringing everything together. Single eyeshadow from Palladio. These are called Crushed Metallic Shadows. They're really interesting because they almost feel cushiony. They're sort of between cream and powder. So I'm going to apply it right over that yellow just to make everything pop. They come together, and I'm going to add just a little bit under my brow arch. I have a felt liner from Circa. This is Eva Mendes line. It's available at the drugstore. I also have this little painterly liner from NYX. I think I'm going to go with this one from Circa because I think it's really, really precise. I need to get my little mirror. Don't want to mess up this beauteousness. Just providing a super, super thin base for my lash band to cling onto. Yes, I am going to be applying lashes because what is a dramatic makeup look without any lashes? What is it? It's not a dramatic makeup look. Okay, what I don't like about this liner is that it is entirely too stiff. What I do like about this liner is that it is very dark and it dries almost instantly. I think I'm going to go with this NYX liquid liner. It's not as precise as the other one, but it glides on a little bit easier and faster. So I prefer that. Yeah, definitely not as precise because I just made a little mistake. See, I wanted a small little wing, but what happens is these things are just not so friendly. Making it work, we're making it work. You could safely assume that I haven't found my favorite drugstore liquid liner just yet. Let me pop in a little bit of black liner to the outer portion of my lower lash line. And then I'm going to take whatever's remaining on that brush from that army green, and I'm just going to set that lower lash line. When it comes to drugstore mascaras, I have several favorites. My Maybelline Colossal Big Shot Mascara, which is a recent favorite. My all-time favorite Great Lash, which I've been using since high school. And of course the Voluminous Carbon Black by L'Oreal. Let's just do the Great Lash because the top matches my eyeshadow. I have only two favorite drugstore lash brands, and those are Ardell's, the classic Ardell Wispies, and the Eylure. I am obsessed with Eylure lashes. I just almost ruined this look. I'm so not used to using a different type of lash glue than what I normally use. So this one, the Eylure glue, although it's a great glue, it takes a little bit longer to dry to get tacky than my House of Lashes glue. Anyway, moving right along. I was able to save it. This is the look. I'm wearing my Eylure 126 lashes. I think they're perfect for this look. Going back to the face, I'm going to use my Pixi Strobe and Bronze palette. You can get it at Target. And in the case that you don't have a Target near you, or if we're speaking strictly drugstore, you can always use a powder like this Infallible Pro Matte that's a few shades darker than your skin tone. I am going to use my Pixi Strobe and Sculpt brush. Picking up this shade, City Kitty. Warming up the perimeter of my face. Do you see how pigmented this powder is? I'm even going to blend it into my forehead. That's why I picked up a little more than what I normally would. Really want to make my hairline look fuller and thicker. So I'm adding it to my forehead, to my hairline, bringing it down and across my forehead. Same thing with my cheeks because I already applied my contour cream. Just gonna warm up and bronze up my cheeks. Starting from the nose, going all the way across. This is where the sun hits naturally. I say this in pretty much every single video. So this is how you contour and bronze up using non-contour powders and using only bronzers. Because remember, bronzers are warmer than contour powders. Contour powders are cool because they're supposed to imitate shadow. For this look, I'm gonna keep it a little bit more neutral. So I'm gonna use this Milani blush, picking it up with this angled blush brush from Apartment 5, Apt 5. I've had this one for years too. Like this. Just gonna warm up the apples of my cheeks a bit, blending it with the bronzer. Setting spray is my Maybelline Fix by Face Studio. Let's go with Highline. I think it's the perfect peachy golden bronzer for this look. Did I say bronzer? I meant highlighter. I'm sorry, I'm getting to the end of this tutorial, so some of us are starting to get a little impatient. Thinking something like this. I'm gonna use my NYX Soft Brown Lip Liner. I especially love these from NYX. They have been my favorites for so long. And this shade Soft Brown, it's a great nude for medium tan skin tones. Oh, these are just so good. Ooh, okay. Here we go. You ready for the final look? So we've reached the end of the video. This is the final look. I am quite obsessed with it. Can't believe this whole creation was done with just drugstore products. Bottom line is, not all drugstore products are as great as the high-end products. However, some come very close. Some even supersede it. So I think the best bet is to really try it out, really try to find your favorites. It doesn't matter what the price tag says as long as it works for you. So those are my thoughts. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, for subscribing. Definitely leave me your comments down below. Let me know what look you want to see next. What do you think of all the products that I used today? Let me know if you have any questions about anything that I mentioned. I'll see you guys on Snapchat. I love you so much. Mwah.